we go.
The US has gone into battle with some of its closest allies. It claims that some of its trading partners impose steep tariffs on its goods, making it hard to sell US products abroad.
And we're being taken advantage of on trade.
Canada, Mexico, the EU and China have all felt the wrath of President Donald Trump.
L'importance de les moderniser, mais notre engagement pour avoir un commerce juste.
That these tariffs threaten to harm industry and workers on both sides of our border. It's kind of insulting.
Canada, for example, is a major economic partner of the US. It sent $338.5 billion worth of goods and services south last year. The US sent $341 billion worth in the opposite direction, giving the states a modest surplus. But President Trump has accused Canada of unfair trade on products such as timber and milk.
It's very unfair to the people of our country, the workers, the farmers, the companies, and we are not able to trade. They have tremendous barriers up, they have tremendous tariffs.
The US imports around $6 billion of lumber from Canada and sends only $1.1 billion worth the other way. It's accused Canada of letting firms chop down trees on the cheap on government land. The president's also angry about high tariffs Canada imposes on milk in order to protect its dairy industry. This is despite the US running a trade surplus in dairy. It exported almost 3 times as much dairy to Canada as it imported. Trump's also unhappy about the US's trade balance with Mexico. He's launched tariffs on steel and aluminium imports, which could hurt producers in China and in the EU. These tariffs might boost US industry in the short term, but trade barriers such as these tend to harm economies on both sides. For example, the EU has promised to hit back with tariffs on US goods. But it might be better to take a radical approach and slash tariffs altogether. This would make goods cheaper for European consumers and prove the EU really cares about free trade, as it claims to do.